What's up, MegaCapitalG here, looking at the next V-Jump promo that's about to be released in the OCG. This is Summon Sorceress, and I swear to goodness, this actually has to be the strangest and most gimmicky Link monster Konami has come up with today. I don't understand why this card is so weird, and I don't know, she seems crazy and practical. I love the artwork of the card. She actually reminds me very much of the High Priestess of Prophecy. In fact, it's kind of weird because Prophecy are getting a Link monster according to the leaks from the Leak Frames pack. It seems like they could have just copy pasted this picture onto that card, but who knows? Maybe the Link monster will end up being like an older version of Blue Boy or something like that. So let's go ahead and break down this card. She's Dark Attribute, Spellcaster type, Link 3. Her Link arrows are identical to Decode Talker, so you guys should be fairly used to this. And her summoning conditions are, if I'm not mistaken off the top of my head, 2+ monsters of the same type except tokens, which means that if you can make Akashic Magician, you should be able to make this because it's the same exact summoning conditions. The only difference is Akashic Magician is obviously a Link 2 and this is a Link 3. 2400 attack. And her first effect, actually, excuse me, the second effect is a hard once per turn. And her first effect says, if this card is Link summoned, she cannot miss timing. You can special summon one monster from your hand in defense position to your opponent's zone this card points to. So as I said earlier, this is a pretty strange effect. I'm generally against giving my opponent any of my monsters, especially when that monster has to come from my hand, because then I'm giving my opponent essentially a card of mine, and that card is now going to be used to defend them with, so that's not good. I mean, yeah, kaijus are a little different, but kaijus take care of problem monsters. This obviously isn't going to do that, and it's like that monster also is in defense mode too, so even if I do kill that monster, I'm probably not going to be doing any damage. Like, it would have been kind of cool if, I don't know, I could have given them like a Ash Blossom from my hand or a Winter Cherries or something. That would have been kind of dope. Like, I could, you know, put the Ash Blossom in attack mode and run it the fuck over if it's dead against their deck, or a Winter Cherries if it's dead against their deck or something like that. But the monster has to go in defense mode, and outside of the monster being like a floater, like a Graph or a Seer or something like that, how am I going to get my investment back? And even if I do get my investment back, even if the monster does float and I'm able to run it over and it replaces itself, isn't that a lot of fucking work to go through just to get one floating monster out of my hand? Like, really? I made a Link 3 monster just to get one floating card out of my hand? Like, that's a lot of hoops to jump through, and this effect only activates one time when it's summoned. It's not even something I can use every turn, so I honestly don't like this effect. It seems way too gimmicky for me. Effect number 2. You can target one face-up monster this card points to, special summon one monster with the same type from your deck in defense position to a zone this card points to on either field. That means it can go to your opponent's field, but that monster's effects are negated. So the second effect can be used in conjunction with the first effect, but it doesn't have to be. I think the second effect is better. The only problem is I like the fact that it can be used every single turn. I just don't know how many times, like, let's say you summon her, right? Are you really going to have more monsters on the field after going into a Link 3 for you to activate that effect? Like, let's just put you back in that Burning Abyss situation, right? So if you summoned her and you had like a Graph on the field and your Graph just for some reason didn't blow itself up, maybe you also have, I don't know, Fiendish Rhino Warrior, you could activate the effect, you could target the Graph, and then you'd be able to summon a Seer from your deck. Even though the Seer would be negated, it would be kind of a +1 in that situation, and that's pretty dope. But I just don't see that many realistic situations, unless she stays on the field for multiple turns, that you're actually going to be able to do this. And I still don't like the fact that the monster has to come out in defense mode and its effects are negated. So that monster is ideally, or that monster is like almost fucking useless. I mean, I guess I could use it for Link summoning if I bring out like a Sangan or something, or a Dandelion. Like, that's kind of dope because I can Link summon with it and maybe I can, you know, search or get more tokens. But I don't know, man, this chick seems like she's just more trouble than she's worth, to be honest. It seems like way too many hoops to jump through to get a second effect that could be decent and a first effect that feels mediocre at best. So you guys let me know. If the monsters could go in attack mode, I would feel much better about this card, because at worst I could give my opponent a hand trap and I could fucking run it over, or I could summon a monster from my deck and even though its effects are negated, I could beat your ass down with it. But outside of that, I feel like it's just going to be used in gimmicky decks. Like, I don't know, maybe you try it in Ojamas or something like that. Like, look, Cap, I can summon 5 Ojamas from my hand. I can, you know, then go into her, and then I can give my opponent an Ojama and summon an Ojama. But at that point, it's like, what are you really doing, man? You probably could have made something better than that, like Borreload or Scold-Eat or something like that. So you guys let me know what you think. She seems like a lot of trouble for, I guess, just pretty average to below average effects. Maybe you guys disagree with me. If so, leave it in the comment section below as to why. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already and turn on those notifications for daily videos.